They were spy ladies who used to get around the enemy generals and all. When Islam spread its tentacles, the radical Islam takes advantage. One command and control is the word. Because if you have one commander and all these agencies under him, cantonment should be kept away from civil area for this reason. We have failed in this. And a very intelligent person who will be dressed up as a waiter.
Wing Commander Praful Bakshi, it's a privilege to have you on our show today. You are someone who served as the fighter pilot in the 1971 Indo-Pak War, and you held the position of Chief Spokesman for the Ministry of Defense. You also were the international humanitarian law instructor in Geneva, and you dealt with the subjects related to spying. So, given the recent exposure of Pakistan-linked spying, what is your perspective, sir, on the looming threats to India's internal security, and how big do you think the scale of the problem is?
Thank you very much. Madam, the scale of the problem is very serious because spying activity covers all aspects of the societal activities of a country, of our citizens. It can cover any department, especially the defense, because because defense is a very important place which looks after the security of the country. So when enemy wants to get better of us, they want to know about our strength, they want to know about our details of our weapon systems, they want to know about the movements, so many other things. They even want to know the weaknesses of a commander, what are his habits, even that. Then they have to use spies. Spies are various types, and a spy basically amalgamates himself into a society. Pakistan has a lot of advantage over us from the point of view of religion. They have got a lot of religious sleeper cells out here who can help them very much, because sleeper cells are working on the basis of religion. And they are you will notice they also work on the basis of radical Islamic religion. So these people are helped by them, like terrorists. Spying and terrorists both are helped by them. And they create mayhem. They create their own the activities which you have seen lately and even before that. But spying has been a very, very old profession in the world. Right from the beginning of history, spying has been an inherent work in India. We used to have in our culture, there's the civilization, there's a mention of wish kanyas, akin to honey trap, which they do, which I'll explain, where they used to have, these wish kanyas were poisoned girls who had developed poison in their body. So one bite was enough to kill a man, and that's what that's what they did. And First World War, Second World War, you have heard of Mata Hari and all. They were spy ladies who used to get around the enemy generals and all, entice them with their beauty and get things out of them. So that's what they have been doing all over. So Pakistan is no less, and they are using it, and a lot of secrets are being lost to them. And they are not women spies, they are men spies who entice our ladies. Like our diplomat was caught in a trap where a young man, handsome, lot of poetry, etc., he enticed her. Similarly, and this lady just now lately, Malhotra, whatever her name is, she got enticed. She got enticed. And you'll be, before I tell you, I just must tell you, when person gets into spy, they are very desperate. They don't get spy just for a kick of it. They actually have to earn money. They are insecure in some aspect of life, especially insecure monetarily, because spy gains a lot. Some are blackmailed into spying, but that does not work for very long. So there are various methods. We'll tell you as we proceed.
Right. Sir, another thing which I want to ask you is that ISI, Pakistan's ISI, is also trying to get their hands on the classified information by sending their operatives via different countries. For example, in the latest Delhi spying case, it was revealed that there was an involvement of operatives who entered India via Nepal after being trained in Pakistan. So, how do India ensure that these porous borders are secured?
You see, that's why I told you, I use the word Islam. Islam is spreading like wildfire. And at one time, there were one masjid when I was a kid. I used to stay in Kathmandu. There was one masjid. Now you see there are number of these masjid and madrasas, and Islam has spread its tentacles. When Islam spread its tentacles, the radical Islam takes advantage. And that's how they do. So Pakistani spies get around Nepal, and through aid programs or so many programs, and then they build their own masjids. When they get in, now they can bring in anybody. The border is porous, whether it's from Kalapani side, whether it's from Raxaul side, any side, you can walk through Nepal. So this is happening. So what you are telling me is absolutely correct. Our borders are porous, but our problems are there that our intelligence has to work very hard, because we have to look out, because the places for spy to hide in India are a hell of a lot because of their religion existing out here. So that is why we have a big problem. So how we remove the problem is, there is cases to be studied, lot of steps have to be taken, solid, and some spies actually spy for both sides. They were double agents. They will give you my information, take money from you, then they give me your information and something of the sort. You see, they have been there also. People have played this double game also. Then they get used to it. When they start earning a lot of money, then they can't get out, because the lifestyle changes, the habits change, everything changes. So this is, if you study the spies, it is a very big chapter. Histories have been created by spies. Second World War, First World War, a lot of results of a lot of campaigns depended upon the spying activity.
Right. But sir, when I talk about how do we solve this problem, there is also a lot of discussion going around about the need to form a unified command. Because right now we have different security agencies. For example, we have External Intelligence, RAW, we have CBI, we also have NIA, we have Internal Intelligence, IB, we have NTRO to look into the cyber and satellite space, and then we have the DIA as well. But do you think that we need to have a sort of a unified command in order to come together, the experts from all fields to come together and to form a system, a framework which will be able to solve this problem?
Madam, I must congratulate you. You brought out a very intelligent point. Very few people understand what you're saying. The unified command is one up. I'll tell you, I'll just make a correction. One command and control is the word. Because if you have one commander and all these agencies under him, then what happens? There is a big problem. Egos will come in. I don't want to serve under him. I don't want to serve under him. My flag, my star plate, all this thing will happen. But for the sake of the nation, if you want to know, the best solution is one command and control, where all the agencies bring in their input into one ops room. And then all the people, representatives of all the bodies work together, are sitting there under one commander, and they decide on the spot that where is this from, which force can we use it, who can use it, within 1 hour, within 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds. You don't even take a minute to know what is happening. This is very essential. Kashmir problem, especially, as I've been saying, people use the word unified command. Unified command means, yes, I will. We are all unified. I will cooperate with you. You cooperate with me. I will tell you. You will tell me. It's all on papers. It is never that way. It doesn't work out. It only will work out if we have one single command and control. Unfortunately, that hurts a lot of egos. That will hurt a lot of things. But we made the mistake, or I do not know whether it's a mistake or not. We created so many agencies, so many paramilitary forces, so many, so that We can create more posts, more director generals, more things. That was the main aim. Let me tell you one thing. I have served in the ministry. I know very well that how people work, how their minds work, and that's what it is. And that is why we are suffering now. Now people will say, yeah, IB will say, I will cooperate and I will cooperate. They will say, we sent the message, I do not know what happened. That sort of a thing will happen. I personally feel we don't be an ostrich, see the danger in the face. We have to change our method of working, and you're very right. And if we do that, we will reduce our problem by 80%.
It's a technological world. So many of these accused were lured through social media, through messaging apps, of course, monetary incentives, or maybe honey trapping. But there is a greater increase, or at least what we perceive is, in the digital espionage. How do we combat this particular challenge?
What do you mean by digital espionage? I would like you to elaborate further on this. What do you mean by digital espionage?
For example, these YouTubers, these influencers, they are getting onto encrypted messaging apps, for example, WhatsApp, Signal, Telegram, and then they are sharing or maybe communicating with operatives, their handlers. How do we...
Yes,
yeah,
you're very right. First thing is honey trapping, you said. Honey trapping, first thing let me deal with. Honey trapping is various ways. They honey trap the army officers. They honey trap the scientists. They honey trap a lot of decision makers. Even politician can be honey trapped, you know. But honey trapping is, and it becomes very serious. But for that, the ladies involved are very professional, very beautiful, all right. But the lady-like qualities are exceptional, you know, feminine, etc., and all that, fashion and beauty and coy and all that thing which pleases a man. And that's what takes the cake. Once the man is entrapped, that emotional trap, therefore, and he gets emotionally trapped. And then he thinks he is right. And I have to rescue this damsel in distress. That's sort of a mission that man acquires. And then he's ready to do anything. This is honey trapping. Same thing happens to the women. Lady also, she falls. And then the digital. Now, these people are handling offices, which are handling digital paraphernalia, digital systems. So when you honey trap them, that thing automatically happens. Even the YouTubers, when you're talking of, when they're handling, they have particular demand. They actually are earning, they are there for earning money. Total. How does YouTuber live? He lives by the earning of his YouTube. That's all. So they want money. You provide them money, they will work for you. So they can go a step ahead, start sending cryptic messages, secret in a secret form, you know, veiled messages through their messages. That is quite possible. Like wireless, you have various types of it. You know, these people who use ham radios, etc., which are meant for public service. Through that they do. During Second World War, a lot of messages used to go there, which enemy could not understand. Like, for example, even if the POW is being tortured, he is forced to say, I am very happy, and also he'll say, yes, I'm very happy, I'm getting food, etc. But he will clearly say also, please tell it to my father, mother, everybody, and tell it to the Marines. The moment you say tell it to the Marines is a phrase that don't believe it, or take it with a pinch of salt. Things like that. Well, there are various ways of sending. A lot of messages are sent through dead bodies. Like, for example, and the scenario can change. When Second World War, the attack had to come to, enemy wanted to attack some place, but they wanted to fool the other side. Then they put a dead pilot's body in the sea with a map and a message in his pocket that our attack is going to come there. So showing it that the pilot was going, and then they fooled the enemy. They have various intelligent methods of doing it. they have to know the enemy's habit. Accordingly, they will do it. Like, for example, a general is very fond of playing golf or is very fond of shikar, then they'll put a shikari along with him, or they'll try to spy him through caddy, or in the evening in the clubhouse, some lady will go there, singer or something like that, crooner. There are 1,000 ways of doing it. So they do it. So your digital platform can be monitored by various means. After you have monitored the heads of the activities, the digital platform can be also monitored by jamming them, by finding their secret code, how they do it, or by counter-spying them. You have to have counter-spy them. The moment you find that somebody is carrying out these activities, then you join as an innocent person, and you spy on him. You are under the pay of the government. So that also is there. Spying and counter-spying goes on. Spying means getting the right information which will help me overpower my enemy economically, militarily, or any other way, basically. So even spying is done in industries also. If one industry is making something, aircraft, and the other wants to know what is he doing, where is he getting, how is he getting the engine, how is he getting the compressor blades, what trick are they doing, then they have the spying also. People go there, get enrolled as engineers, etc., and then they do it. This is also going on. So spying can be industrial spying, it can be military spying, it can be social spying, husband, wife spying each other, they are also there. So there is no end to spying.
Right. So the challenge is both the digital espionage as well as the traditional method that you just listed out. So I want to go back to the Delhi spying case, because over there we saw the reports that some of these spies were collecting data because they wanted to attack high-value targets, for example, Palam Air Force or Delhi Cantonment. My question to you is, how do we protect these high-value targets, these military installations? Because
yes, I understand. Yeah, how we protect them? See, we have to have a counterintelligence. When we come to know, our counterintelligence team keeps a track on people. What are they doing and what are they having? Who is meeting who? Why am I going to that embassy so often? That thing. Or I'm an important Air Force, Army or something, or a scientist. So that's what they do also. Then we have to take steps, especially in cantonments. Lately, what has started happening in India, a policy has started coming up. Our cantonment land should be open to civilians. You see? Now, when you open the land to civilian, I'll explain it to you. Now, this is the cantonment where officers are staying, army officers are staying, their children are staying. That is a very enclosed area where normal people cannot go. Even the buses are not allowed to pass, the DTC buses, etc., until they are coming in. Now, this area, there's a playground where children are playing. Now, this little boy's father is a battalion commander, and they want to spy on this boy. Why? Because they want to know about his father. Then the man with candy will come there and all, or he'll probably bring up little dog. As he's walking a dog, befriend that little boy, and then find out, or where is your daddy's battalion going and what, everything. They come to know through innocent, through Dhobi guard. They come to know exactly, because the so-and-so battalion is moving. The frenzy of activity starts taking place. Washing clothes, soldiers are going. They come to know. The barbers, they all come to know. And mind you, and if you open it to civilian, then the matter will go to Chandni Chowk. Matter will go to everywhere. That is why the rules were that cantonment should be kept away from civil area, for this reason. We have failed in this. We are failing very badly into this. We are opening our cantonments to the civil, and that is what is happening. And most of the secrets are being leaked like this. And you'll be surprised. We actually are shy to admit it even. But we are actually losing information because of this. An enemy comes to know. And we don't get to know anything about the enemy. That's why. And it is very difficult to get into Pakistan. Pakistan is an enemy. You can't get into the cantonment at all. So you just can't enter. You can't enter China. But in India, you can walk in anywhere, by any, as a mumphali seller, or anything, flower seller, postman. You dress up as a postman, you're going. Who stops you? That is what.
To the same, taking a cue of what you just said, I want to speak about the same issue in the places of diplomacy. How do we ensure that there is unbreached sanctity there as well? Because here we saw videos of this person simply walking into the Pakistan High Embassy, forming connections, getting sponsored trips, and possibly, getting intel for the Pakistani officials. So how do we ensure unbreached sanctity in the places of diplomacy as well? Not only talking about the Pakistan High Commission, but all the embassies, all the high commissions.
Well, as I told you, counter espionage. The listening devices are there, the camera devices are there, other ways, various ways are there. Then there are intelligent people, they're monitoring the mail. They're finding that who writes to the embassy so often. Why? What is this problem? Somebody is trying to do that. So they start following. It has to be countered. So counter espionage is a very, very important thing. So they actually, all embassies, they have to know that who is coming, who is going, why are they coming. And that's why they're very interested. It's very difficult, especially these Polish embassies and other embassies. At one time, it was very difficult to get your visa. Why are you going there? What do you want to go? Such crude questions they will ask. Anybody will laugh at them, but they're very serious about it. So this is what it is. So there are a lot of steps are being taken. More steps can be taken. Sifting of people who are working there. You take a job in embassy as a translator. They'll have to vet you, follow you, everything. Who do you friend? Who's your friend? Who is your father friend? What is it? Who comes to your house for dinner? How often? That is what it is. What are your mother's habits? What are your parents' habits? Even they'll go to that. Where does your child study? Even that. They will do everything to get to know who phones out, who's dating your daughter, who's dating your son. All this thing will also be considered. So there are various methods of doing. Israelis have their own method. Chinese have their own method. CIA has their own method. But it all depends on which is more effective. Israelis are very effective in this game.
Right. So my final question to you is, you have seen war, you have seen peace, this Operation Sindoor also you have seen, and we have seen the emergence of these YouTubers, influencers as the potential spies for foreign countries. What is your message to young Indians? How do we stay vigilant? Because, when Jyoti Malhotra was doing all of this, she was, as per a report, nobody around her neighborhood knew what she was doing. Like, for example,
Yeah.
How do we stay vigilant, sir? Because this is a matter of national security.
You see, how do we all stay vigilant? You're talking of normal citizen.
Yes.
Actually, this aspect has to be taught from home and school. The security studies should be a subject in the schools. China starts it very early. We can start security studies from class 5, where you must understand what is security. Big terms of spying and all, they will not understand. But you can tell them exactly why people want to harm you, what can they do, what can they do to your parents. They must keep the level as if somebody is trying to steal from your house or robbers or something. Make the story a little palatable. And then as the students keep growing up and all, you can reveal the subject. Give them, this subject can be given for a PhD chair. You can do that. A lot of people are masters in this game. This is the main thing. What is the difference between defense spying, industrial spying? How industry and defense are related? What can they do that? What is like the detective agencies, they spy on husband, wife. That is a different thing. But that also follows the same principles. That also is there. So, and why industrial spying is done? For what reason? How do they gain from each other? How do they attend? What methods? They attend the same conference where the boss is attending. So they'll come to know exactly. Or probably they will pay the waiter who's serving them coffee to please understand what it is. And the very intelligent person who will be dressed up as a waiter will be serving coffee and pastries or something like that, or scones or something, so that nobody suspects him. All these things. The person who comes and puts your video or the thing, all those things, AC worker, air conditioner, there are various ways of entering into this thing and getting up. And plus, once you make sure that a video is suspected, then you draw out a process of banning it. First, follow it. Don't ban it like a havaldar. First, follow it. Get the exact juice out of it, then ban it. That should be done. We should not be in a hurry of banning. We must follow it right to the target, and then try to get the maximum out of the spying. There, people are doing. Plus, physical security has to be done. Securing your bases, securing your cantonments. Cantonment is very important, I'm telling you, because that is where you lose. Your Air Force commanders, their Air and Naval commanders, Army commanders, everything, everybody is staying there. Their clubhouses, their messes, their everything, their market, everything is very important. We are actually lacking in this art. We don't understand.
Right.
It's just you are a very rare example who's asking these questions.
Thank you so much, sir. And definitely we need a complete overhaul of how the security apparatus works in India, because we have enemies within India and we need to counter them. Sir, thank you so much for speaking with Asianet News, and we hope to have...
I just missed out one point. The religious leaders have to be monitored, because it is through the religion you spread hatred, and it is that requires monitoring. Until you monitor the religious leader, they can even incite your troops, inside the troops. They also can do that. They can infiltrate there through religion. And we have so many religions which are volatile. We have to keep watch out for that. They can become one of the main culprits. And our biggest problem in India is through religious divide, through hatred. And religious leaders are the cause of it. So let's not look anywhere else. India is a prime example.
Well, on that note, thank you so much, Wing Commander, for speaking with Asianet News.